What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And today I'm going to be doing my review of the Real Steel Huginn. This knife was sent in to me by this guy named Jason, this Puerto Rican fucker I know. I'm going to link his YouTube channel down below. Be sure to go over and subscribe to him. He's approaching 1,000. I think he's close to 800 now. Let's see if we can push him up to 1,000. Super great, super cool guy. Very funny. Buys so many knives. You're going to see much better knives on his channel than you see on my channel. He has a much bigger budget than I do, and he sent this in for me to check out, so thank you very much, Jason. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in Atlanta, you fucker, you. Alright, so let's talk about the Real Steel Huginn. But first, let's go over the specs of the Real Steel Huginn, do a couple size comparisons, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on this knife. Alright. Well, I had them. There they are. There they are. Lost them for a second there. All right. Overall length, 8.35 inches. Blade length, 3.65 inches. Cutting blade thickness is 100 thousandths. It's VG10 blade steel. That's not a bad thing, okay? Don't think that when you see VG10. It's not bad at all. The weight on the knife is 3.6 ounces. It is on cage ceramic ball bearings. It is right hand tip up only. Actually, no, it is reversible. I take that back. You just flip it over. So it is left hand, right hand friendly. So it is truly ambidextrous. Good on them for that. This one has G10 scales with DLC coated liners, pocket clip, and blade. Thumb stud action. One thing I do want to point out, they use a different kind of hardware. It's not a bad thing. You can use a flathead screwdriver, or you can probably even use a dime to take your pivot apart, take the knife apart. Very simple construction, only two screws to take out, which I do like that. The liners are heavily milled to keep that weight down. Yeah. Action. We'll talk about action in a minute. Let's do a couple size comparisons. We're going to start out with the Real Steel Sacra, one of my favorite Axis style, crossbar style lock knives. Truly amazing. And this one has something over this one. I'm assuming this one was made first, and there were some things said, and then they made this, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. We'll pull this knife back out momentarily. Here is the Real Steel Metamorph. It's just a hair longer than Metamorph, but a taller blade, taller handle. Here is the SOG Terminus XR. And of course, we got to do a bug out. How could we not do a bug out? Which is a knife I think this is made to compete with, although it's quite a bit larger than a bug out. But you know, for the weight, with the difference in size, this is a 2-ounce knife. This is right at 3.5 ounces. For the difference in size, makes sense. Makes sense. Here is the Kershaw Heist, another one of my favorite Axis style lock knives. Do I have any other Axis locks out here? Yeah, we got a Ganzo, the Ganzo FB727S. So this is a long knife, quite a bit longer than I would normally carry. Let's do a couple of the regulars here. We'll do a Penguin. Everybody knows and loves the Penguin. If you don't, I don't know what's going on with you. You should rethink your life. You should have a Penguin in your collection for sure. And what else can we throw out there real quick that everyone will recognize? We'll do a pair of 3. Quite a bit longer than a pair of 3. So that should give you a good idea in the size. Now let's talk about the Ergos and the action and the price. Ergos are really good. Extremely comfortable. The jimping they've done up here, I wish more companies would do it the way they did it. It's super grippy. It's not uncomfortable, but it definitely locks you in there. Some companies do jimping and it's like it's pointless. You can just slide your thumb across it. It serves no purpose other than aesthetics. They got it right on this one. It feels really good. Locks you in. No forward finger choil, so can't get right up on that edge, but you know, you're not too far off. Let me zoom you guys out a little bit here. Can't get right up on the edge, but you're not too far off. And medium-sized hand, I got quite a bit sticking out, but it's not overly long for me. At least that's what she said. And here's the thing with this one. Well, let's say something for me with a crossbar locking knife that makes it a good one for me. You shouldn't have to pull down both sides at the same time, right? You should be able to just grab one side or the other and the blade drop. And this one, you can definitely do that. Works great. Super good. You can use the thumb and do it, or just your index finger and do it. Works fine. With most crossbar lock knives, I like to put the butt of the knife in my palm to pull it back, right? I just feel like I have more control that way, especially if I'm using two fingers. It feels better. With this one, with a medium-sized hand, I can barely get this little top corner in my palm. It's so long, I can barely get to it. I can get to it, but if you have a smaller hand and you want to put the butt of the knife in your hand to disengage the lock, this one's probably not going to be for you. But again, the action is so buttery smooth on it, you don't even need it in the palm of your hand. Look, I can just grab it like this, put my thumb right there, drops. Some cheaper crossbar locks aren't that good, right? They almost feel assisted. They feel like they want to bounce. This feels more like a Benchmade bug out. This is super smooth, super smooth. Price on this knife is $96, and it's VG10 still. VG10 is not a bad still, don't get me wrong, but you know, for the price, I think it's a little overpriced. I really do. It's made well, has great action, great ergos. It's on cage ceramic ball bearings. Pocket clip is reversible. Coated blade. VG10 is stainless anyway, so. But you know, VG10 is just, it's not bad. It's not a bad still. Don't get me wrong. But for $100, I think it's overpriced, right? When you consider other things you can get out there in that same price range. I mean, you know, it's not crazily overpriced. Don't get me wrong. You're not spending way too much money for it. If you like Axis style locks and you want a longer knife with great action and great ergos, not great ergos, they're just pretty neutral. There's no hot spots anywhere. You'll like it. You'll like it. I just think for what you get, I think for VG10, $100 is a little overpriced. You know, they could have used 154 CM or something like that, and you know, I may feel a little differently about it. I'd even prefer to see 14C, which you can get for less money than this. That's just a personal preference. You know, this one's $95. You can get the Sakura. Something else I need to show you the difference between the Sakura and this too. This is 14C. Now you don't get it with this fat carbon. This one was a prototype, but you can get it 14C in micarta, $80 or $90. So, and you know, I am going to say 14C is better than VG10 for a EDC knife. You know, I really think it is. You know, I have rant and raved about this Sakura. The action's fantastic. The way they did this angle here, it goes in your palm perfectly, right? It just lines up perfectly, feels so good. But the way they did the tabs, right? These tabs on the Huginn, they're not bad. I have no problem grabbing them. They feel fine. I get good traction on them. Well, not really traction. They stick out enough to where I can get a good grip on them, right? These, the way they did these, see these little lines right there around that? Those are sharp, right? Not cut you sharp, sticky sharp. Your skin sticks to them. And they should do this on all their crossbar locks, right? They should do it on every one. They didn't do it on this one. Or maybe they did and the coating has taken the edge off of it where it's not as sharp. Because I see the lines on there, but these don't feel like these. So if you have this and you're expecting these to feel like these, they don't feel the same. But they're not bad. I can get them just fine. I get good grip on them. Not really grip. There's enough sticking out to where I can, you know, I can pull them down with no issues. Although it took me a while to get used to it because of how long the knife is. But that's just a me problem, being a smaller person with a medium-sized hand. Overall, I think this is a fantastic knife. I do think it is a little overpriced to be VG10. I really wish they would have used 14C. Honestly, I would prefer 154 CM. For this price range, for sure, 154 CM or better. Honestly, for $100, I think that's what you should be getting in this day and age. I think $100 for VG10 is a little bit too much, but it is a fantastic knife overall. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one.